On this episode, Cynthia Rothrock reviews the top 10 most dangerous stunts she's ever performed and lived to tell about. Number 10. Dick's Kick.
This is during the ending fight scene of Yes, Madam. I get to fight Dick Wei. Now, all the Hong Kong stunt guys kept coming up to me and going, "Oh, I feel sorry for you. He hurts. He hits everybody really hard. Everybody gets hurt." So I'm all hyped up about this. So we're doing our fight scene, and he's hitting me really hard. And there's a scene where he kicks me in the groin. And I'm like, he really did kick me in the groin. I was like, oh, okay, that does hurt. It hurts women too. But there's a scene where he hook kicks me and his foot is supposed to get stuck on the wall, and then I come up and he kicks me off that. Well, when he kicked, Corey Yoon said cut, and he was trying to speak a little bit English because we were already 7 months filming this film. Well, Dick Wei didn't understand English meant cut, so I stop, I come up, and Dick Wei kicks me in the head. It's the first time I felt like I was going to pass out. I literally saw stars, and I was going down, and all of a sudden blood was coming out of my ear. And the only thing I could think of is when you die, blood comes out of your ear. So they rushed me to the hospital. The doctor says, he kicked you so hard, he split your internal ear open. I can't do anything about it, so go back to the set. So when you get injured in Hong Kong, it's like just another day on the job and you're ready to shoot again. And I kept going like this every time he kicked because I kept thinking he was going to hit me in the air with blood like coming out of my ear for this whole scene. But that was really tough. I'll never forget that. The first time I literally got knocked out.
Number 9. Swordplay Slash.
In the ending scene in Yes, Madam, I am fighting multiple attackers with weapons and swords. And it gets crazy because in Hong Kong you shoot so fast. So you have to remember like 30 moves all at once. And you have to keep moving and just hope that you remember everything because otherwise you're going to get hit with one of the weapons. Well, that's what happened. I got hit right in the nose with the sword. My nose swole up. Tears were coming out of my eyes. And Corey Yoon looked at me and he said, "Oh, your nose looks better now than before." So very dangerous when you're fighting like 8 guys, all with weapons, all at the same time.
Number 8. Horseback Hell.
There's a scene in Millionaire's Express where we ride the horses. Well, Sammo Hung had this idea. He wanted to put about 20 fans on each side and fill them with bags of sand. So when the horses come through, it looks like we're coming through this fog of sand. So I'm not really a person that rides horses. And the day before, they brought all these horses for everybody to practice with. Well, they put me on the biggest horse out of everybody, and it starts bucking me up. And now I feel like I'm 30 feet in the air on this big horse, right? Everybody's got these little horses. And then someone finally realizes and says, that horse is too big for her. Let's get her a smaller horse. Well, they didn't have a smaller horse. So everybody got to practice on their horse, and I get to wait till the next day to get my horse. So I get my horse. He's smaller, and I'm like, okay, I can handle this. This is good. So we're ready to shoot this scene, and Sammo tells us, he says, whatever you do not fall off of your horse because there's 100 horses behind you and you're going to get trampled on. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, don't fall off the horse. So we're all ready. We're all lined up. Sammo says action. The sand goes into the fans and we ride through. Now, as we're riding through, it feels like someone took a bucket of sand and threw it right in your eyes. And you can't see. And my eyes, I can't even open my eyes. The horse has sand in his eyes. He can't open his eyes. We're all over the place. All I kept thinking is don't fall off. Now, when you're on a horse and you can't open your eyes, your equilibrium is all off. So I'm like bouncing all over the place, like don't fall off, don't fall off. And then finally we land and we end up in all different places. Nobody ended up where they were supposed to. So what Sammo ended up doing then is just put a little sprinkle of dust, let it settle, and then we come through. But that scene took all day for maybe like a 10 minute, not even, no, not 10 minutes, like 10 seconds of seeing us coming in the horses. But it was very dangerous for me because, first of all, I didn't know how to ride a horse. And number two, I had sand in my eyes and couldn't see.
Number 7, ladder stilts.
In Lady Reporter, we have a fight scene on the roof. This whole scene was dangerous. I could pick out any one. And the reason for it is I am fighting in a dress and high heels. I can't put pads on, and I have to fight in the heels. So one of the scenes I remember is I had to fight on a ladder, and I had to balance it like climbing up about 8 steps. So it's like I'm on a stilted ladder, and turn around and fight from there. All right. Doing that in flat shoes would have been hard enough, but in high heels, up on the ladder, and thinking if you fall down, you're falling on cement. All right. That was a very tricky scene.
Number 6, Ride of Doom.
I thought I was going to die on Lady Reporter because the stunts were so hard to do. You got to remember, I'm a martial artist. I'm not really a stunt person, but by shooting films in Hong Kong, I became a stunt person. Well, manghoi directed it, and then Golden Harvest said, we want more action. So they bring in Yun Kuei to shoot a couple action scenes. One is where I'm in a truck, fall out of the truck, and I'm only holding myself on this fast moving truck with my leg bent and then over. And I remember it was killing the inside of my leg. Now, how come I didn't fall out? Because they had a stuntman on the floor holding my ankle. And I was like, do not let go of my ankle. Do not hold my shoe. My shoe will come off. And I'm hanging from there as the truck is speeding away. Very dangerous. I don't think they would let me do that in the United States. Then, to top it off, they have a cut scene where there's, again, sand in the eyes. I don't know what it is about sand in the eyes, but Corey Yoon gets a bucket of sand and spins it into the tire, and it's all this sand in my eyes. So now, again, I'm hanging off a truck. I can't see, and I am squeezing my legs so tight on that truck that I didn't fall off and hit my head on the concrete road.
Number 5, Hangmans Ropes.
One of my favorite action scenes is from Lady Reporter, and it's a fight scene on the ropes. Now, these aren't normal ropes. These are ropes that went up about maybe 40, 50 feet high, all the way up to the top of a warehouse ceiling. Now, I thought, oh, this is going to be fun on the ropes. Well, every time we bounced off them, it was like a brush burn. I had brush burns all over my legs. And a couple stuntmen got hurt. One fell from the top and got paralyzed when he hit the bottom. Another one was, when you're fighting on these ropes, your foot could get caught. He broke his ankle. So it was really, really hard. Here I am doing a backflip on the ropes, and I'm on the top and I'm running down. And then there's a scene where I flip over and I come through the ropes and I grab the person's leg. I was so sore that night with brush burns. And when I was on the top, I was wired. I was wired because they didn't want me fall through on the top because the squares were enough for you to fall through the body. But it's a phenomenal scene. I still love it. And it was so hard and so dangerous to do.
Number 4, Leap of Faith.
In Righting Wrongs, there's a scene where I have to jump off a couple stories up high down. Now, I'm not going to do this. They're going to get a stuntman to do it. But in Hong Kong, they want me to look like I'm doing it. And this was scarier than what he did. What they did is they had me go up many floors up, and they built a long platform all the way up with a little square, okay? A little square, probably about 15 feet away from where I was standing. Now, I'm afraid of heights. They want me to come here and jump and land on the pad like I'm going forward like that. So how they were going to cut it is you see me way high, you see me jump off the balcony, then you have the stuntman do the fall, and then I come in and do the ending. Well, that was so scary because if I didn't jump fast enough and far enough, I was going to go many, many floors down to my death. And all I could remember, I was so scared. I remember they were like, action. And I was like, looking, because if you have to jump that far and you miss it and you're going to go down, that's all in your mind. Well, I jumped so far and so hard because I was afraid I was going to do it. I almost extended and went off the platform. And all they have on the platform is a couple guys ready to catch me. So I always wondered, like, what if I didn't make it? I hit the edge and came down. That would have been it for me. But nobody thinks about that. They're just like, yes, we got that shot of her jumping from there over to the little platform up very high.
Number 3, Wall of Death.
This scene, I would say it's extremely difficult, maybe not as dangerous, but very difficult. So in the scene, it's the ending scene on Yes, Madam. I'm doing a cartwheel on a staff, okay? So now I have to do the cartwheel, but I have to come and do a cartwheel into the wall and hit the wall. That was hairy for me because then you don't know how you're going to come down. You have to come back down like a cartwheel. You can't just stop because you'll fall on your head and you're only holding on to a little stick that doesn't have a lot of balance on the end of the stick. So we did that about 10 times. It's like in Hong Kong, you can't just do it once. You have to keep doing it. Once I did that and my foot hit the wall, they put a little tiny ledge on the wall. And they had just a hair of my foot on it. And then they put holes in the wall and they put a wire around my waist. So on action, now imagine this. I'm still on the stick. I have my foot on a little ledge and my other foot is hanging over my head. On action, I have to flip it up like I was doing a cartwheel. They pull the wire so my waist goes right into the wall, and then I go splat right against the wall in a split. So as I did that, they said, well, we got to do some other work. Do you want to come down or do you want to stay up there? And I'm pretty flexible. I could stay in a split for a while. I said, I'll just stay up here because then it was a whole big thing to rig it all up. And I thought, I'll just stay here and do it. Well, I was there for quite a long time that my legs were shaking. And then the next day I couldn't walk for 3 days because I think I was on the split for about an hour and a half, like just in a split position. I was like, okay, do not do that. Do not try to be tough. Just say, yeah, I'll come down no matter what, because 2 minutes ended up to be an hour and a half. But it was a very difficult scene. It's an amazing scene. I would say it's my favorite move in an action movie I did. I just loved it. And then I'm on the wall fighting, but I'm actually pulled tight with a rope and a wire on my chest.
Number 2, Hanging by a Thread.
This scene from Righting Wrongs was done all on a scaffold. And one of the scenes I had to do is I'm fighting and I have to jump into a basket and pull myself down. Now I'm up really high. There's no net. There's no mattress. There's nothing underneath me. So I better not fall out. There's stuntmen that have a rope and they're holding me up and then they're going to kind of let it go down. If they would have went like this, I would have went smack right to the pavement. So I'm like 10 times, maybe, make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you hold me. But the worst part of this stunt is that they had a basket that didn't have a bottom in it. It was a complete empty hole. And I had to keep my feet like edged on the edge of it and do the fight scene and come down. Why there wasn't a bottom in it, I don't know. But it was a very dangerous thing because I could have fell through the bottom of the hole or the stuntman could have left go. And I'm afraid of heights. And it's really high and I'm coming in a basket that I'm thinking could just disintegrate any minute because it was so old, there was no bottom. So, that was hairy. That was a hairy stunt.
And now for the #1 most dangerous Rothrock stunt ever filmed. The explosive jump.
In Lady Reporter, I have to jump off a second-story building. And I've never done this before. I've never jumped off a building. And they said, hey, Cynthia, look up at that building. And I'm looking at it 2 stories up. They're going, can you jump off that? And I'm going, yeah, I could do it. And they're going to have you jump on mattresses with cardboard. So that's pretty hard. It's not like in America, you have a nice, cushy, bouncy bag that, you could just go wee and bounce and land and have fun. So the issue with this is I get up there, and now my perspective is much different. When I'm looking down and up, it's not too bad. When I'm way up there and I'm looking down, now it's bad. My heart is going like this. I can't breathe. I'm so nervous. Manghoi said, okay, when I say action, you have to jump because there's an explosion going on behind you and the fire is going to come to where you are. So you have to jump on action. Now, to make it a little bit tougher for me, I have high heels on. I have to jump in high heels. And that isn't enough. I have a fake baby in my hand. So I can't use my hands for balance. I can't use my feet. I have heels on, and I just have to jump. And I have to go on action because if I don't, I'll get engulfed in flames. So Corey Yoon goes, ready, action. I feel the heat coming and I jump. And I don't know how to jump. I just jump. I land on the mattresses. I landed feet first, and then my butt fell back, and I came up and hit my nose with my knee. Almost knocked myself out. I thought I broke my nose. And now I'm thinking, oh, man, that was hard. And Corey says, we got to do it again. We didn't. There's something wrong with the film. And now I know how horrible it is. I know how it feels to come down. So I have to go back up and do it again. And I'm like, oh, my God. So second time, I go down, I jump. Same thing happens. I hit myself. So Manghoi comes over and he says, we have to shoot it again. There was something wrong with the camera. And I was like, oh, dear God, no. Now I know how horrible it is to jump. So I go up. I have to do it again. Then we finish the scene. Now that's me. You see me jumping, right? But of course, you're not going to see me land on the boxes. So then they get a ledge about 10 feet. And I have to jump from the ledge to the bottom of the ground with the baby in my hand. And I can't even go like that. It has to stick like a gymnast, perfect, like a perfect 10. And I'm in heels. So, I could have easily broken my ankle, very easily landed on that. So I'm doing that numerous times. So I come home, and all of a sudden, I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I called Manghoi, and I said, I'm really feeling weird. And he goes, okay, let's take you to the doctor. So the doctor examines me, and he goes, yeah, well, from all that jumping and jumping down, he goes, you jumbled all the organs in your body. And I was like, what? I jumbled all the organs in my body. What does that mean? He's going, oh, just take all these pills. You'll be okay. So that night I go home. I can't sleep. I'm having nightmares that someone came in and stole the film from Golden Harvest, that they lost it, and I have to shoot this scene again. Luckily, the next day they said, no, we got the film. I'm like, don't lose it, whatever, because that was a very, very dangerous, scary stunt that I did on my first film in Hong Kong. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun reminiscing about all the dangers I've done. Well, not actually all. It was only 10. I probably could do the top 100. But anyway, we'll keep doing more videos like this. So thank you for subscribing. And also, recently, a biography came out from the Martial Art History Museum. So that will be available to be personally signed on my website, cynthiarothrock.com. And I sat here the other night with Michael, and it's really good. It kind of goes through a whole lot of my career. So I think you'll enjoy that as well. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Hi, this is Cynthia Rothrock. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you like the videos, please put a like on it and refer it to your friends.